Do you ever have an idea when you're making something creative, but a little voice in your head stops you by explaining how difficult it will be to put together, and the project will probably be fine without it? Yeah, well, I guess I was born with a screaming baboon in my head that for some reason really likes boats. In my last Caesar Strife devlog, I went over the major systems already implemented in the game while trying to navigate the waters of spoiler territory to the best of my ability, but now I think I should spend some time touching on some of the smaller stuff that I've added, which I think is just plain cool. Fair warning though, a lot of this stuff is pretty unfinished, so if you see something buggy or just plain weird, I'm probably punching my screen right now to fix it. No, seriously, probably right this second. So, lightning round. Let's touch on as much as we can, as fast as we can. The game has some light RPG mechanics that allow for a little more freedom of personal customization than just ship and crew choices. Every action you take in game, hostile or non-hostile, will net you experience points. When you level up, you'll get 2 points, one that can be spent on upgrading your flagship, and the other for more miscellaneous skills like fishing or getting better deals at the market. So collecting experience points is an important part of all styles of play. You'll also find that roaming ships in the world have levels just the same as you, so you probably want to watch out for the fleet with the Admiral that has a 50 level difference on you. What about the other ships in your fleet, I hear you ask? Well, funnily enough, just head to any of the towns and visit the inn to hire captains for your computer-controlled ships. These captains specialize in single combat skills and can really increase the strength of your fleet when used effectively. Hunting down only captains of specific combat stats can also make for some hilariously fun fleets of extremely fast skimmers or slow and tanky juggernauts. Using Unreal 4's super easy to use data tables, I've randomly generated names for these captains and the admirals of the fleets on the overworld, but as my Discord knows, I am notoriously bad at coming up with names, so there is only about 40 in the pool for each faction at the moment, and it's a little disconcerting that every second captain seems to be related. So if you'd like a name in the game, throw it in the comments to save me from racking my brain for hours. Thankfully I did have the foresight to separate these names by faction, so you'll only come across the Orc Warlord captain named Gargath the Blood Crusher, and not Susan, which I think is pretty fitting. You'll probably notice that the art for all of this is either missing or placeholder, but you've definitely noticed that my user interface skills are incredibly lacking. My drawing skills are, interesting. But don't worry, I've got a 2D artist working on a lot of this stuff currently, so stay tuned for that in the future. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the land combat. Just the same as hiring captains, you can hire crew at the inn. This crew is split into sailors and soldiers, one being used for land combat, and the other being used for manning your ships. Once you've accumulated what you believe to be enough troops to take on a town or city, you simply sail to it and initiate a siege. Right now, land combat is incredibly simple. Your unit cards have a bar that fills. When that bar is full, target the enemy you would like to attack, and click. Really fast, really simple, and really boring. God, it's boring. Look, if it were up to me, we'd have a full-blown third-person hack-and-slash bloodbath, but I'm not Jeff Bezos here, so I need to work within a scope. I want land combat to be fast, at least reasonably enjoyable, and as unintrusive as possible, so you can get back to blowing ships out of the water with massive, ridiculous cannons. And this current system really isn't there yet. I don't think these micro-level engagements are integral to the pirate experience, so it hasn't been a major focus in development at the moment, but that being said, I have a lot of ideas on how to spice land combat up, but I think I'm going to turn that eventual work into its own entire separate video, where I get in more in depth into the actual process. So for now, I'm just going to show you it in its disgustingly boring glory. Next up, so you know these wide open spaces that you've probably noticed a few times when I've opened the map in the past devlogs, and how suspiciously I never seem to pan upwards on the map at all? Well, you see... Nah, I'm just kidding, we can't talk about that stuff yet. It's both not finished and I'd hate to spoil the fun. Maybe in the next devlog. In fact, let's just call it quits here before my massive mouth gives away something I really shouldn't. If you enjoyed this video, hit the sub button as it's the best way to support the project, because apparently making a Steam page for wishlists is way more suffering than I expected as an Australian. We're all caught up now on everything already implemented into Caesar Strife that I can give away, so my videos may become slightly more spread out as I hammer away at progress. But your interest and the conversations about the project that spawned from these videos are my prime motivator, so I appreciate any support. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.